Ms. Raeesah Khan.
Mr. Speaker, my speech will address two areas: improving infrastructure for cyclists and the expansion of search and seizure powers on public transport. The bill seeks to introduce licensing and certification regimes for users of bicycles and power-assisted bicycles. Given the number of accidents involving cyclists, this could help ensure that cyclists are well acquainted with the relevant regulations, thereby improving road safety for all users. However, apart from licensing and certification, perhaps we could look into improving road infrastructure as another possible solution. As the government seeks to promote active mobility amongst the public, it is crucial to ensure that our infrastructure will be able to keep pace with the expected increase in individuals opting for such modes of transport. The LTA has already started looking into converting some stretches of roads into cycling paths to tripling the cycling path network by 2030. As part of these efforts, could the ministry also consider studying the possibility of repurposing car lanes into bike lanes? This could potentially improve connectivity for cyclists while also contributing to road safety. While the government embarks on projects to improve our infrastructure for cyclists, I hope that the ministry can also factor in the needs of cyclists who are persons with disabilities, to ensure that infrastructure in the pipeline is inclusive. For persons with disabilities, cycling is often a much easier way to get around than walking, and it is estimated that about 40% of disabled cyclists use regular two-wheeled bicycles. Thus, while their disabilities may be invisible to some, research has shown that people with disabilities have a disproportionately higher need for protected cycling infrastructure and direct routes. Obstacles, uneven surfaces, and gradients could potentially cause discomfort to disabled cyclists or inadvertently exclude them from using the cycling paths, as they may not be able to lift or push their bicycle. Infrastructure should also be designed to be able to accommodate wider, non-standard cycles such as tricycles, tandems, and recumbents. On the expansion of search and seizure powers, while I understand the need for such measures to strengthen the preparedness of our public transport system against security threats, I have several queries for the minister. My first query relates to the training which will be provided to approved persons, especially for those who are not police officers or employees of an auxiliary police force. Could the minister share more about the training which approved persons will receive before they're authorized to frisk search commuters, if any? More specifically, does the ministry intend to provide training and introduce guidelines to ensure the appropriateness and proportionality of actions taken in relation to the assessed threat level? This could help prevent cases of abuse of authority, which include excessive behavior, harassment, or even sexual assault. Additionally, how would the ministry minimize the profiling of minorities and marginalized persons, which may inadvertently arise in the process of identifying commuters to undergo additional security screening? Such profiling may amount to over-policing and could potentially be damaging to our social fabric. Perhaps the ministry may consider publishing statistics pertaining to all frisk searches, including information on searches by gender, ethnicity, time, location, and also justification. The second query I have relates to public awareness and education. Given that security checks can be conducted by police officers who are not in uniform, as well as approved persons authorized by LTA in writing, how would commuters be assured that officers who are conducting these security checks are legitimate? How would commuters know if officers are behaving in an appropriate manner? Does the ministry intend to provide avenues for commuters to seek recourse and remedies should they encounter inappropriate actions taken by these officers? On top of introducing safeguards to minimize the occurrence of such incidents, I hope that the ministry will also consider conducting public education campaigns so that commuters can be aware of their rights with regards to security screening and frisk searches proposed by this bill. Mr. Speaker, as we seek to expand the search and seizure powers beyond law enforcement officers, we should also ensure that proper and comprehensive training is provided to authorized personnel, while ensuring that commuters are aware of the extent of these measures and that they can be reasonably subjected to. This would help maintain trust in law enforcement while allowing us to remain vigilant against potential threats to our public transport system. Thank you.